standard of weights and measures. What does that mean? It is, they do have that power. So, and if you go a little bit down, if I'm correct, it's section 10. Section 10. Yep, section 10. Clause 1 says, no state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation grants the letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin in a tender payment of debts. I'll repeat it again. Gold and silver coin, a tender in payments of debts. Pass any bill obtainer, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation contracts, or any grant title of nobility. So when you see paper money coming out of the Federal Reserve, printed out of thin air, is considered fiat. It has no backing whatsoever. So technically, it's considered to have the same attributes as monopoly money. That's why Congress needs to go back to sound. We need to go back to sound money, and I would recommend this. Everyone in the United States, even the rest of the world, purchasing gold and silver coins if possible. If you get silver, that'd be great. And I know too, and even crypto, I'm not a big fan of like digital stuff. However, cryptocurrency, one thing I like about it, about certain things like cryptocurrency, as long as the central banks don't run it, that has to be good. It has to be good because, like Bitcoin, for example, is not centrally controlled, governmental controlled, or bureaucratic controlled, and I find that very amazing, and it's treacherous towards the central banks. So I would like that, see that more people get involved with those areas, including myself, because we don't need the central banks. They need us, because even if you study the past, a lot of central banks, like the Federal Reserve in Germany, did the same thing during the Weimar Republic from 1922 to 1928. They were printing money out of thin air so they could pay off the debt to World War I, and 6 years later it became a big bust. People then started throwing their monies on the street, and a lot of the suckers wanted to try to grab it. That they were millionaires. They went into the store. They couldn't even buy a loaf of bread. And who came to power for that? Who came to power? Took advantage of it? The Third Reich, or the National Socialist Workers' Party, or also known as the Nazis. You guys could take it from there. All right. That will be... That link for the Constitution will be on there as well. And next over here is going to be, this came out a few days ago to be exact. This is written by Bob from the World Net Daily, and it is entitled, "Will Legal Gun Owner Really Get Decade in Jail?" This is stuff from the, gives a couple of video clips from the NRA, National Rifle Association, but this is very interesting here. It goes as it reads: the prosecution of a single mother who faces up to a decade in prison for carrying a weapon for what she had carried. She had a concealed carry permit in her state, is being reevaluated, according to a report from the National Rifle Association. Shanine Allen of Pennsylvania already has spent 46 days in jail because she drove into New Jersey with her weapon. She was offered a deal that includes mandatory minimum of more than 3 years in prison. Because New Jersey refused to recognize Pennsylvania's concealed carry permit, she was handcuffed, shackled, and jailed after she told a New Jersey police officer who stopped her for an alleged traffic violation that she was carrying. In Pennsylvania, the disclosure to police is required by law. Allen, who has 2 young children, had obtained the weapon and the permit after being robbed twice in 1 year. The arrest came during a social outing that took across the state border into New Jersey, where state trooper alleged she committed a lane violation. In the new interview with NRA, her attorney, Evan Knappen, said the judge has agreed to prosecutor's request for a delay to 3 weeks to evaluate the case, which I am happy about that. A conference that has been scheduled for this week at her trial, which was to begin October 6th, had been delayed. I think it's great sign, Knappen said. It's about time that hardball position on firearms get a reevaluation. Hopefully the prosecutor will be inclined to use his discretion and the focus to stay on people that threat of violence to us, not folks like Shanine. NRA commentator Ginny Simon obtained a copy of the prosecutor's letter and read it. I am presently in the process of reviewing our office's position on the appropriate resolution on this matter. WND reported the campaign by the NRA to publicize the case. Said Knappen is the jury that's superior to the rest of the United States, that their license is so sacred and sacrosanct they cannot recognize a single other license based on a Second Amendment right. New Jersey Assemblyman Michael Carroll, calling the state freedom hell, says the law is insane. Prosecutors earlier had refused permission for Allen, a medical assistant, to enter a diversion program for first offenders, even though evidence shows she made an honest mistake. I have to worry about spending 3 years in state prison without my kids. Where is the justice in that? Allen asked. Her advocates said a federal law providing reciprocity for recognition of gun permits might be the only solution, since New Jersey's hopeless. Assemblyman Ron Dancer has introduced a bill that will give judges the option of lesser penalties for visitors who advertently violate state law. He said it is conscionable that Allen faces mandatory time in prison for telling the truth. It is about justice and constitutional rights, he said. Yeah, I saw the videos, saw the video clips and all that. And it's very disturbing. I heard about this issue that's been going on like almost the past month or so. It could be able to be further than that. And when they talk about the reciprocity law, it'd be the solution. In all good faith, I have to disagree with the attorney Knappen for that, because if you go to the Bill of Rights, same thing. Second Amendment and Ninth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. And I did a little research on the New Jersey Constitution. And first I went to Article 1. And it says here rights and privileges. And there's nothing about the right to bear arms on here whatsoever. However, this is something here I'll read right now. It says, all persons are by nature free and independent, and have certain natural and unalienable rights, among which are those of enjoying and defending life, liberty, or of acquiring, possessing, and protecting property, and of pursuing and obtaining safety and happiness. So you don't need the reciprocity law. Natural born rights, possessing and protecting property. Okay, and for the people in New Jersey, all right, you guys got the power to do a lot, all right. So it's like a over here when it says all political power is inherited in the people. Government instituted for the protection, security, and the benefit of the people, and they have the right at all times to alter or reform the same whenever the public good may require it. And here's something which when I saw this a few days ago, is it reads here on B of the same section. The people reserve unto themselves the power to recall after at least 1 year of service any elected official in the state or represented in the state in the United States Congress. The legislature shall enact laws to provide for such recall elections. Any such law shall include a provision that recalled election shall be held upon petition or at least 25% of the registered voters in the electoral district of the official sought to be recalled. If legislation to implement this constitutional amendment is not enacted within 1 year of the adoption of the amendment, the Secretary of State by regulation implemented the constitutional amendment, except that regulations adopted by the Secretary of State shall be superseded by any subsequent legislation consistent with this constitutional amendment governing recall elections. The sufficiency of any statement of reasons or grounds procedurally required shall be a political rather than a judicial question. And like I said, you want to make something happen in New Jersey. The people who live in the Garden State should take the initiative and do a recall on these treasonous bastards that supports tyrannical laws. Period. You don't need them. They need you more you need them. That's what I'm looking at right here. And we can go down to section 21, if I'm correct. It says here, of Article 1, this enumeration of rights and privileges shall not be construed to impair or deny others retained by the people. What is that equivalent to? The 9th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Plain and simple. And if we go a little further back here, and it'll be, if I'm correct, Article 7. Article 7, as it reads, Section 1, every state officer, before entering upon the duties of his office, shall take and subscribe an oath or affirmation to support the Constitution of the state and of the United States, and to perform the duties of his office faithfully, impartially, and justly to the best of his ability. So, if they want to act like we don't need the U.S. Constitution, they breach your oath of office. So, you can use that recall and go, you're fired because you breached your oath of office under Article 7, Section 1. Very interesting. Yep. Section 1, Verse 1. Sorry about that, folks. And, of course, they all have to... Everyone's going to play that little game. Everyone's got to, got to do that. Is this how it is? Oh, yeah. So, definitely, I will add those to my footnotes on this. Come on, let's go. Boom. Oops. Yeah, definitely, for sure. So, that's how I look at it, because what happened to this young lady is a victimless crime law. And another thing New Jersey can do as well. Do the recall, go by your oath as a voter, and if you do, and a juror gets involved with this particular case or other victimless crime law cases, jury nullification. So, don't tell me you can't do it. Make it happen. Action conquers fear. When people stand up together, the government don't like it. And you know what? That's good. Alright, let me proceed here. Next I'm going to be hitting will be from the Personal Liberty Digest, came out yesterday. It is entitled, Federal Appeals Court Refuses to